Hello and welcome back to Figure Barn. Are you ready for a collectible crossover like no other? We're diving into the incredible world of Funko Pops inspired by The Electric State and The Secret of NIMH. Two movies that couldn't be more different, yet both bring unforgettable characters to life. We'll start off with retro-futuristic robots in a hauntingly beautiful dystopian landscape, where The Electric State delivers mind-blowing visuals and deep storytelling. We'll then shift gears to the animated masterpiece The Secret of NIMH, where mystery, adventure and talking rodents take centre stage. So stick around as we showcase, review and dive into the worlds behind these cinematic icons and add another bunch of figures to the collection. Ready to get started? The Electric State is a 2025 science fiction action adventure film directed by Anthony and Joe Russo. Based on Simon Stolnag's 2018 illustrated novel, the film follows a teenage girl, Michelle, and her robot companion as they journey across a dystopian America shaped by abandoned technology and a mysterious war between humans and machines. The film adaptation was first announced in 2017 with Andy Muschietti initially attached to direct. The Russo brothers took over in 2020 and Netflix acquired the distribution rights in 2022. With a reported budget of $320 million, it became one of the most expensive films ever made. Now starring Millie Bobby Brown, Chris Pratt, Ke Huy Quan, Woody Harrelson, Anthony Mackie and Stanley Tucci, the movie premiered at Grauman's Egyptian Theatre on February the 24th this year, before its Netflix release on March the 14th. Now, despite high expectations, the film received fairly negative reviews from critics and is currently trending at 14% on Rotten Tomatoes, though its visual effects and world building were praised. Now, I did watch this through the other day and my personal opinion is that honestly, the storyline is a bit paper thin. That's not to say it wasn't visually impressive, it is, and you can see where the money was spent on the sheer amount of CGI and animatronics in the robots. The acting also seems a little bit wooden and generic in places, but hey, where else are you going to go to see Woody Harrelson playing a giant peanut? So to sum up, a visual spectacle, yes, an enjoyable movie, sadly, not really. I will add though, if Funko brought out figures for twice the amount of the actual robots than they have, I'd quite happily pick them up because their design is pretty amazing for the main part. So pretty much in line with the movie's release, Funko brought out a set of 5 pops from the movie, and we do have all of them here today, so we'll start off with the main protagonist, who is Michelle. Now Michelle Green, played by Millie Bobby Brown, is a teenage girl navigating a dystopian America, where abandoned technology and a mysterious war between humans and machines have reshaped society. Michelle lost her parents in a car accident and believed her brother Chris had also died. However, she's approached by a robot carrying Chris's consciousness, leading her on a dangerous journey to uncover the truth and to infiltrate the headquarters of Center, the corporation responsible for controlling Chris's mind. Her story is one of resilience, determination and sacrifice as she faces the realities of her brother's fate and the larger implications of Centre's technology. So this is obviously not the first pop that we've had of Millie Bobby Brown due to her starring role as Eleven in Stranger Things over the last few years, but I do think this is her first appearance in the movie line. Now here she's wearing a faded and torn jean dungarees with a purple shirt tied around her waist there. A paintball gun that she's holding there slightly obscures the black t-shirt underneath, but if we turn it to the side we can just about see the green backpack that she's wearing and the double hoops in her ears as well. Now they've also done a good job of capturing her hair as well, probably better you can see on the glam here, with the darker roots at the top merging down into the blonde, and at this stage of the movie she's also wearing a black headband that you can just see there as well. Next up we have Cosmo. Now Cosmo is a sentient robot voiced by Alan Tudyk. He's based on a fictional cartoon character from an MTV children's programme called Kid Cosmo, which Michelle and her brother Christopher loved watching. Now in the film's lore, Cosmo was originally designed as a promotional robot for Disneyland, but later became widely used in labour and entertainment. He plays a crucial role in Michelle's journey as he arrives on her doorstep claiming to be controlled by her brother, leading to her quest to uncover the truth. So Cosmo here works quite well as a Funko figure as he's got this cartoonish, exaggerated design that makes him stand out in the dystopian world. He has his bright yellow, orange-like head with the oversized limbs and the massive boots that make him look more suited to animation, all held together by this tiny little torso there. Now the big white gloved hands also sort of remind me of another famous character from Disneyland in the form of a mouse, and you can hardly miss that massive painted smile across his face, slightly weathered by being abandoned for so many years. Now, the Electric State Kid Cosmo mobile game is an official prequel to the movie and follows Kid Cosmo's perilous visit to Mars. It also expands on the relationship between the main characters Michelle and her brother Chris 5 years before the events of the movie. Following on, we have Chris Pratt as Keats. John D. Keats, played by Pratt, is a smuggler and former soldier who becomes an unlikely ally to Michelle on her journey. He has a fairly rough, world-weary demeanour, shaped by years of surviving in the dystopian America ravaged by war and abandoned technology. Now, Keats travels with his robot companion Herman, who we'll get to shortly, and they were originally on opposite sides of the human versus robot conflict, but eventually became close friends. Keats is deeply involved in the film's central conflict, helping Michelle navigate the dangers of Centre Industries and the Neurocaster technology. So as you can see here, Keats is holding a big bunch of keys. Now, when he's asked why he has so many keys, he replies by simply saying that he's a very important man. Now, he has this unkempt blonde straggly hair and beard, matched with the black jeans and the black denim jacket with the sleeves ripped off over the white basic t-shirt. Now, he's also got bracelets on both his wrists there, as you can see, with a large belt buckle that looks like it's American Eagle, I think. And also the keyring for his keys on the right side of his leg there, showing the predominant red spiral belt clip as well. Now, as another little fun fact for you, Keats' hairstyle is actually inspired by Patrick Swayze's character Bodhi in Point Break, further highlighting his desire to be a bit of a relic from the past. And we can't have Keats without having Herman. Now, Herman is a robotic sidekick, voiced by Anthony Mackie. He is Keats' mechanical companion, known for his stacking body design, which allows him to shift between different sized forms for various tasks. Now, Herman plays a crucial role in the film's action sequences, often protecting Michelle and Keats from impending danger. His loyalty and dry humour make him a bit of a fan favourite, and his backstory also reveals that he once saved Keats during the war, leading to their lifelong bond. So there's loads of detail in this one, and it's in its main form here as a tall sort of humanoid structure with the mechanical limbs. The head on this pop is a dull blue, which tries to mimic his slightly worn metal plating. Now, he almost does look like you could just sort of adapt him to fit into his different forms, with all the bolts, wires and rivets holding his body together. And similar to Cosmo that we saw earlier, he has the white oversized hands, almost like Mickey gloves again, and in this pose he's just giving us a cheeky little wave. And wrapping up our set from Electric State, we have the slightly weirdly named Mr. Peanut character, who I'll obviously just be calling Mr. Peanut. Now, voiced by Woody Harrelson, Mr. Peanut is a war veteran robot who fought for the machines during the original battle against the humans. Now, originally an advertising and mascot for Planters, Mr. Peanut is reimagined in the film as a radical leader of the surviving robots. He signed the Treaty of Surrender with President Clinton on the White House lawn and later took refuge in an abandoned shopping mall known as Blue Sky Acres. When Michelle and her companions meet him, he's a bit reluctant to help, fearing that humans will destroy his community. However, she manages to convince him that the robots deserve their freedom, leading Mr. Peanut to lead a final battle against the human-controlled drones. So this one is a Funko exclusive, which I picked up directly off the Funko website, as you can see here from the sticker. Now, for a Peanut, there is again loads of detail on this sculpt. If we work down from the top hat with the blue band around it, we have the brown little waistcoat there with the black collar and the silver buttons, and we also have his brass monocle over the right eye there, all finished off with this nice little red bow tie as well. And he's also got his black wooden cane down there, helping to steady him in his right hand. Now, naturally, also being a robot, he has this mechanical look to him with the arms and the legs, which again are really nicely detailed with all the nuts, bolts and the rivets and the hinges, all finishing off with the extremely shiny hands and the trademark spats there as well on his shoes. Now, during the vibrant rise of Vancouver's alternative art scene in the 1970s, performance artist Vincent Trysov took an unconventional approach to politics by running for mayor dressed as Mr. Peanut. Representing the Peanut Party, his campaign served as a satirical critique of the political climate during the Nixon era. With backing from novelist William S. Burroughs, Trysov secured 2,685 votes, amounting to 3.4% of the total ballots cast, which to me isn't bad for a peanut. From the neon haze of the Electric State's dystopian highways to the shadowed tunnels of the Secret of NIMH's hidden world, both stories explore survival in collapsing societies, one shaped by decaying technology, the other by genetic experimentation. Whether navigating abandoned landscapes or uncovering buried truths, these films prove that even the smallest hero can change the course of fate. Now, The Secret of NIMH is a 1982 animated fantasy adventure film directed by Don Bluth in his directorial debut. Based on Robert C. O'Brien's novel Mrs. Brisby and the Rats of NIMH, the film follows Mrs. Brisby, a widowed field mouse who seeks the help of a colony of genetically enhanced rats to save her sick son. Now, Bluth, a former Disney animator, left the studio to create his own independent animation company, believing that Disney's standards were declining. The Secret of NIMH was his first major project, featuring hand-drawn animation, a dark, mature storyline, and a memorable score by Jerry Goldsmith. Despite critical acclaim, the film struggled at the box office, earning $14.7 million against a $7 million budget. However, it gained a strong following through home video releases and is now considered a bit of a cult classic. It's also a movie I remember fondly from my childhood and being a young boy at primary school. At the end of each term, they used to wheel out the big 2-reel projector and play us a movie in the school hall, and The Secret of NIMH was one of those. So there's 4 in this set, which all came out earlier this year, and we'll start off with Jeremy Crow. Now, Jeremy Crow is a comic relief character in the movie, voiced by Dom DeLuise. He's a clumsy, talkative and well-meaning crow who becomes an ally to Mrs. Brisby after she saves him from the farmer's cat, Dragon. Now, Jeremy's obsessed with collecting shiny objects and often gets himself in trouble because of his fascination with glittery things. Now, despite his bumbling nature, he proves to be a loyal friend, helping Mrs. Brisby on her journey to save her family. His goofy personality and light-hearted humour provide a bit of a contrast to the film's sort of darker themes as well. So as you can imagine, Jeremy here looks very much like a crow. He has his big yellow beak, which is just a little bit opened with the red inside, and you can just about see his pink little tongue in there as well. Now, true to the movie, the eyes are outlined with this purple around the undersides, and naturally he has his big yellow bird feet there with the 3 toes and the talons as well. Now, over the black feathers around his neck, he's got part of the red string that he was tangled in when Mrs. Brisby first encounters him, which he claims was for a nest. And the next one we have is Justin in his captain's uniform here. So Justin is a brave and honourable rat, voiced by Peter Strauss. As the captain of the guard, he is responsible for protecting the rats of NIMH and upholding their colony's security. His kindness and leadership set him apart, making him one of Nicodemus's most trusted allies. Unlike the power-hungry Jenna, Justin believes in moving the colony to Thorn Valley, ensuring the rats' independence from human technology. In the film's intense climax, Justin engages in a sword fight with Jenna, ultimately defeating him and emerging as the colony's new leader. So, as you can see by the sticker, this is another one from Funko.com and is exclusive to the website. And it's another great sculpt, this one as well. It does seem that the Funko designers have a bit more of a free rein on these to pick out the attributes when it's more of a sort of cartoon character. And Justin here has his brown fur covering his face with his pronounced snout and the black nose sitting on the end of the lighter fur around his muzzle there, and the 2 rat-like long teeth in the centre of his mouth. Now he's in his full captain's outfit here as well, with the large royal blue hat finished off with the black trim and the gold medal on the front there at the top, which also holds a red feather standing proudly. Now moving down, he's wearing a long sleeve white shirt beneath the blue sweater vest, giving him this rather distinguished look, and it's all held together by another big gold button around his collar there as well. And the third of our NIMH Pops is Mr. Ages. Now, Mr. Ages is a wise and grumpy old mouse, voiced by Arthur Mallet. He's one of the few surviving mice that escaped the National Institute of Mental Health, or NIMH, where he was experimented on alongside Mrs. Brisby's late husband, Jonathan. Now, Mr. Ages lives in an abandoned harvesting plough, where he tinkers with machinery and concocts medicines. When Mrs. Brisby visits him, he diagnoses her son Timothy with pneumonia and warns that he must not be moved for at least 3 weeks. Now, despite his gruff demeanour, Mr. Ages does ultimately help Mrs. Brisby by guiding her to the rats of NIMH, setting her on her path to saving her family. Now, as you can see here, Mr. Ages has a bit more of a short, chubby frame than the others. He has his small round glasses resting on his nose there, reflecting, I suppose, his intelligence and his resourcefulness. You can see the wooden crutch underneath his left arm, and he's also wearing a light blue cast on his left foot, which is a result of an injury sustained when he was attempting to drug the farmer's cat, Dragon. He wears his red and pink tunic and apron, which has both a bone and a pocket watch hanging off the waistband, and he's even got a stitched patch there with a blue thread on his elbow if we turn the box, just as it is in the movie as well. Nice little bit of detail. And finally, to wrap up our showcase today, we have our protagonist, Mrs. Brisby. Voiced by Elizabeth Hartman in her final film role, Mrs. Brisby is a widowed field mouse living with her children in a cinder block on the Fitzgibbons farm. When her son Timothy falls ill with pneumonia, she embarks on a dangerous journey to seek help from the rats of NIMH, a colony of genetically enhanced rodents with advanced intelligence. Throughout the film, Mrs. Brisby proves to be brave, resourceful and selfless, overcoming her fears to protect her family. Now, unlike many animated heroines of the time, she's not a warrior or a magical figure, but rather just a determined mother who finds courage in the face of overwhelming odds. Her character is deeply emotional, making her one of Don Bluth's most beloved protagonists. Now, she's got a slightly lighter brown fur here, with the tufts on her cheeks and the long eyelashes up to her rounded and slightly exaggerated ears there with the pink inside. Now, she's wearing a fairly simple red cloak draped over her shoulders and is holding the magical amulet that Nicodemus gives her, which ultimately helps save her family. Now, the amulet glows with immense power when she finds the courage to act selflessly, reinforcing the film's main theme that true bravery comes from within. Now, the character is never officially given a first name in the movies, only really addressed as Mrs. Jonathan Brisby. However, following the suicide of her voice actress Elizabeth Hartman in 1987, many fans bestowed the honorary name Elizabeth upon the character. This is a bit of a tribute that recognises Hartman's final film role before her passing. And that's a wrap on today's journey through the Electric State and the Secret of NIMH, two films packed with unforgettable characters that have now been immortalised in Funko form. From Michelle and Cosmo's dystopian trek to Mrs. Brisby and the Rats of NIMH's underground secrets, these figures bring the magic of these stories right back into our collection. So which Funko Pop from these movies was your favourite? I'm always interested as well to know your latest pickups too, so why not drop a comment below and let me know about your collections. And hey, if you enjoyed this deep dive into more of Funko's cinematic lineup, smash that like button, subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss any more Funko hunts, reviews or movie showcases. So until next time, stay curious, keep exploring and remember, there's always another story to tell. We'll catch you in the next one.